I think I'm going to join the Liquid squad as well on this one. I feel like they have the tools, they have the tempo, the snowball, and I think they have that good vibe. Not saying Talon doesn't have it, but I feel like Liquid is maybe a tad bit stronger in this one.
Yeah, I'd say so as well. And, you know, it is the first day of the LAN. Maybe not everybody has settled in nicely just yet. Going for ease of execution, going for things that are simple, that everybody plays right now. And their only thing that kind of moves away from that is the techies, and even contributes like a lot of the same as some of the other position 4s. You just do damage, right? So I'm thinking that Liquid are going for simplicity today. They did that in their first game as well, and it worked out well for them then.
Have to say that is one of the most beautiful versus screens that I've seen in a while as we head over to Liquid versus Talon in this BO1 to find out who has a 2-0 at the end of the day and who has a 1-1 score and has to continue on the next day with best of ones under their belts. Looking at some of those facet options as well, I know like an Alpha Wolves has been really popular, but in this case gonna be the pack leader.
Yeah, I think the idea is that Sniper first and foremost doesn't deal well with the units, right? So you want to have them fast and you want to be running at him not only with your hero but also with the units. So I'm guessing that's the reasoning behind not going for Alpha Wolves.
Obviously a bit of deep warning as well from Liquid. They know the positions of Talon, so they head over with this smoke on their side. Maybe Natsumi is caught off guard because in a moment they're going to start popping out of the smoke and looking for the Wolves to body block, and he's got him. Natsumi could just be first blood for Liquid. They're chasing him down. Bunch of damage flowing in. It's slow and stable, but it should get the work done. However, Boxy might just be the one to drop first as Mikoto will take the techies down. Jokum traded to get the Morta down for Insania. So that is Talon with the first kill.
Yep, they got it. The thing is, you're going to Naga Siren. This hero has a decent amount of armor to start with, and is definitely not easy to kill. Pretty speedy as well, 330, as we can see is the movement speed of the hero. They went with the blast off to get close for the blood grenade, and you know, you were missing out on a couple of more hits just because of that play. So Talon, it seems like they knew that Naga could take it, though barely.
Yeah, applying the damage slowly but surely does mean that Natsumi is just a few seconds late for the lane. That doesn't seem to hurt the Naga Siren too much. Natsumi is straight back in. Of course, with this WS Dawnbreaker versus the Magnus on Mickey, how do you think this lane is going to go? And maybe favored by either side? That is a pretty scary level 2 timing on the Talon side.
It depends on how the lane control is, right? If Liquid manage to keep the lane close to the tower, then just the threat of the skewer is going to be giving them the advantage. If the lane is somewhere in the middle where the skewers are not going to happen, then Talon should have a slight advantage just because of the positioning of the Muerta and the harass that she will come out, bring out. But overall, both teams have very strong lane there on the bottom.
Yeah, sometimes. Oh, well, we just talk about that, and it doesn't take too long for Mickey to find an opening. I was just about to mention about the Muerta. Once you have level 2, you have the calling, which most importantly is that ability to interrupt that shockwave skewer play from going through. Now you didn't have your hands on it, so Liquid able to find the kill there.
Yeah, this was beautifully done by Liquid, right? Literally schooling Talon. Like, you put them in a position where they don't have a play. Their play was to move back and allow the enemies to just get those range creeps without any contest. And well, because they wanted to contest it, they gave away a kill.
We got the level 2 up as well on our learning curve. Ogre can finally start spamming out some spells, but Lycan is a pretty difficult target to take down. I think it's going to be more of a war of attrition type of lane here in the top.
Yeah, it's, you know, Techies might not be a melee hero, but this is a brawler lane, right? The Techies is going to be spamming right clicks, not really doing a lot of damage to either the Ogre or the Naga, and then same is going to be happening towards the Lycan as well, right? They're going to be punching him a bit, but it's not going to hurt him all that much. So brawling lane, and in the end, I'd say it's going to be very close to the CS department between the cores.
It's going to be pretty important for that Naga to also hit those timings early. The Naga carry hasn't really been in high regard in the last few months, at least if you look at the meta, what type of heroes are being played. It feels like a bit of a last resort from time to time. How do you feel? Like, is this Naga Siren still a strong hero in the meta? And because I find hard to believe in the hero. I like the Naga Siren more as a support above the carry.
I think it is in a place where it should be, and that is that she is situational hero.
That's a lot said for an illusion hero.
Yeah. I mean, every illusion hero is mainly like that, but Jokem.
Yep, looking for a kill here, has to pump up that one regen.
That's fine. But back to the Naga. The thing is that she's at least gonna help you control the lanes, and she's very good versus the techie. So, all in all, those are already solid reasons to pick her up. And I think mainly you're protecting your teammates from the Lycan. The sniper is gonna be the one who, at least in the early mid game, is gonna be your main hero.
Yeah. It's going to be very important to keep that sniper up and alive, considering the snowball potential with heroes like the Lycan, the Tiny. They get their items fast, and combined with aggressive supports, TALON does need some type of weapon to respond early on.
I expected, though, that sniper to do better, right? He got the first blood, if I'm not mistaken. And he's versus a Tiny who has 0 armor, and you have so much physical damage. So I expected him to do a bit better, but Nisha is always impressive. Not necessarily always in the lane, but even there, he's quite good, but also the rotation is going to be when we're going to be looking at him.
Also a nice little fact brought up to you people who have been watching Pro Dota, and those who haven't been watching for quite some time, and that is a long duration of time. Players have been sticking together on this Liquid roster.
Those 3 were on Alliance. That was their roster, and I think it was 2018 TI Open qualifiers.
It was a while ago.
Yeah, very, very long time ago when they were playing together. I think Koikwa was on that lineup.
For the first 5 minutes of play completed, Mickey far ahead in CS and looking for Insania down the bottom lane to WS Jokem. Able to secure one with their level 3 timing, but as you mentioned, the Tiny is coming down bottom. Sniper still happy sticking down in mid. Can Nisha catch up to them? Jokem with the calling, slows down Nisha and Mickey. Yes, with the quick jump on Mickey and also the creep wave in between, so they are able to move themselves away from harm.
Yeah, that ward saving their lives, right? They knew that Nisha is going to be wanting to rotate towards this side of the map at around this moment when nighttime comes, and they just placed that ward. Yeah. That is very nice presence of mind. He really likes these rotations towards his.
And you look at the minimap as well. That sentry is really close to revealing where that obs is, and they finally actually find it with a second sentry.
Yeah, because there's no way they could go out there perfectly like that.
Oh, no.
Okay.
There's no Oracle in the game.
Yep, no Oracle, unfortunately. But considering it's Insania, there could have been.
Imagine if there was a hero whose in it was that if somebody's approaching from Fog of War, you get a warning.
Yeah,
that could ruin the entire game mechanics at that point.
Yeah.
Not getting any ideas. Nisha does take some damage from Kuku and Makoto. Ghillie suit sniper.
No mana sniper.
Greedy finished off the kill. Jokem also a bit of trouble here with Insania and Mickey. They should be able to take this Morta down, and maybe even WS, even without their mid rotating in, because Tiny has to take the walk all the way back to the fountain. So Nisha not available at this time.
Yeah, but you can see a day and night difference in the amount of damage that he takes from a sniper when he gets his level 6 in the extra armor. Still, this tower is taking a big beating, and that is huge. Tiny doesn't want to lose his tower early because there's a big access point to move around once you get the Blink Dagger. It is a disaster if they lose this tower.
So talking about a bit of these stacking numbers as well. Side of the teams playing in this tournament, Liquid just happens to be one of those that do prioritize that jungle pretty heavily in the triangle. Kuku well aware, placing that ops ward in the triangle. They did scout his movements to contest the Wisdom rune, but do they know that it's also warded? So whoever decides to move into that area might be in trouble. You know, do have this Dawnbreaker level 6 getting closer and closer.
If I was a big stacking team, this is the cores I'd like to have, right?
Absolutely.
The Tiny and the Magnus, even the Lycan isn't half bad, especially once you have your helm, so that you can go for multiple creeps and use.
Bit of harass here on Saberlight, looking to close out the kill. Techies is coming in though, might be able to with the blast off save Saberlight, but is it enough? Looks like it will as the ignite runs off of the Lycan.
Just enough, and that was a perfect time to kill him. He's not level 6 just yet. When he does get to level 6, it's gonna be increasingly more difficult to take him down, and even scary to even try, right? Because he can turn around and kill somebody, but they go once again.
Something you can always do with the web and the reel-in. Only that the duration on that level 1 web is not really a very long one. So holding a, say, shape-shifted Lycan down, that's not really going to work out until you have 4 points in it when it's like, what, a 5-second snare?
Yeah, it lasts for a long time. It is, yeah, exactly 5 seconds, so... But Nisha, man, he really doesn't want to let go of this tower, but I also don't think that he's going to be getting his Blink Dagger before it falls, because he doesn't even have his phase boots, so hasn't even started on his journey towards the Blink.
At least taking control of the action runes, I think that's something that the sniper wants to prevent this Tiny from having. It is an arcane that he's bottled up, and I'll be curious if without the face boots, this Tiny is forced to make a move, because he has made a couple rotations, and they haven't really worked out in his favor, costing a lot of time. There was a time in Dota when if a Tiny failed his rotations once or twice, it's like lane over.
Yeah, well...
Or maybe even game over.
I mean, if you look at him, his lane is kind of over. His tower is almost dead, and he's more than 1,000 gold behind the sniper, so yeah. He's not having a great time. But Nisha has been in these situations so many times, right? He is very, very good at creating openings later on down the line, so, you know, we shouldn't be afraid for him just yet. And that tower is still... Yeah, the tower is still standing. Daytime is coming, and that is when you can go for a smoke with a Tiny versus the sniper, because then he doesn't really have the added vision as well. Here's a smoke even before that, because they want to reveal their Lycan helmet. They want to push with this creep.
Well, Lich is quite deep here into dire territory, not quite close to the rest of his teammates on the top side of that tower, and I think this shrapnel might just be enough for Insania. Well, the assassinate will be thrown in.
He needed the shrapnel for the vision because he didn't have the spell just yet.
Yeah, Nisha does get his jump on Jokum, but they also get rid of that ward instantly. Sweet Kodo. Money for us, Boxty having a bit of a fight in the rune. It is Kuku who got the illusion rune away. So another rune taken away from the Tiny.
Oh, so look. So what the Liquid tried to do is go and push in the mid lane. It didn't work out, right? I hope, though, that what does work out is our viewers making it to the LAN, right? To do it, exclamation mark, ticket in the chat, and you'll get all the info that you would ever need so that you can join us here from the 31st of January to the 2nd of February.
Join us in the celebration of the Fissure Playground 1 Dota tournament here in the heart of Belgrade, Serbia. Potentially, one of these two teams might be on the main stage if they make it all the way through.
These are the winners, right? They're getting there 100%. Just kidding, of course. The Swiss stage only started, but starting off with the win is a nice boost to your confidence.
Oh yeah, step by step. That's how you do it.
Well, one of these teams is going to be ending the day with a 2-0. Then you only need one best-of-3 victory, and you're going to have 3 of them. Shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, I mean, Talon, they already had to pass the harder phase in a way, which is the qualifier, considering Liquid was an invited team to the Swiss stage. So hopefully Talon still rides the high. There was a time last year when they were prepping for TI qualifiers. You remember when I brought this up, when we talked about them playing an entire tournament as an all-hero challenge. They played 10 games with 50 unique heroes. And I talked with their management about them, like, is this intentional? And then they just brought up, like, how did you notice? How did you realize? Yeah, we want to keep our strats safe, but now is not the time to save your strats. Now is the time to use them.
Nisha is approaching the Blink Dagger, but the thing is, he doesn't have that tower any longer, and you really would want to even get a couple of kills with this Tiny before the Blink Dagger, and because it's down, it's just impossible for him. You can see how Nisha has been very nicely shut down, and it all started with that sniper getting the first blood. That could have been actually a big deal for the entirety of this game, but it's daytime, so no extra sniper vision. I'm hoping Liquid tried to make a move during this time.
And we have been bogged down to just 6 kills in the last 12 minutes of action, so we're just waiting for 1 or 2 items on both sides. Not that first item reveal, and it's go time, basically. But which team has the faster group up here? Are we looking at Liquid wanting to play at plus 15 minutes as a 5-man death ball, or do you feel like Talon's lineup is better suited for it? It is a Naga carry after all.
Talon is never going to be like a 5-man type of thing. It's going to be more so, it's nighttime, we have better vision with the sniper, and our lane's in a better position because of the Naga Siren. So they're going to have more info on what's going on the map, especially because you have a Dawnbreaker that can split push as well and join the team whenever. So it is going to be down to Liquid finding a way to make this a 5 versus 5 rather than just being
on the receiving end.
Yeah, totally separated around the map.
Well, we're 200 gold short from the blink on the Tiny at least, so maybe with that blink reveal, they can start getting something done on the map. Mickey does have the Echo Saber flying in, combined with that Mask of Madness. He will start to dish out some serious damage.
The timing for Liquid is coming, and you know what though? It is not gonna be easy for them to use it. They need to force Talon into a lot of the mistakes because nighttime is coming, and it's not gonna be easy to do. Even with the Blink Dagger on the Tiny, if they just see you before you see them, that Blink Dagger isn't gonna give you much.
Maybe even the longest night, because you have to keep up with your plays around the map. Keep those waves pushed out, time your smokes right. There's a lot of pressure on Liquid.
Okay, Game of Thrones fanboy. It's the longest night. You're right.
Not even Game of Thrones. I mean, I come literally from a country where in the northern parts, people haven't seen sun since November until the 15th of January. 2 months of darkness.
Yeah, guys, don't worry. Here in Serbia, we have the sun, right? So you can come and enjoy the sun, and then you can enjoy great Dota as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you don't enjoy the sun, make your way here.
Talon are in a smoke. They're moving towards the top lane. So right now, they want to pressure this one, get the tier 1s down as much as possible so that the Naga can posture aggressively and shove in the waves even more aggressive.
Talking about that Pudge for Boxy during the drafting stage, even production agrees on that. Pudge should have maybe shown up, but Kuku in a bit of dangerous waters here between 3 Liquid. Make it 4 Liquid heroes. The Saberlight shows up for the assist gold with the Howl. Jokum will fight versus Insania, force out the chain for... Oh, the Naga Illusion's almost brought close enough to get some extra bounces onto the Muerta. The Wolves are going to be chasing Jokum. Shockwave slow. More and more slows on top of them. This Muerta is going to get bogged down to death. So Liquid will find their response.
Liquid are so good at this. So they are not committing at all, but they're getting 2 support kills. And they weren't really even looking for the big kills. They want this mid lane tower to go down. Now you're going to be looking for the big ones.
Absolutely. A bit of a defenseless sniper maybe with the Wolves and Nisha getting the combo. Mikoto doesn't get the Shockwave to connect. He's trying to TP out, and the Naga song just in time from Natsumi to save the life of the sniper, but now it leaves this Naga quite alone. Minkei's chasing Nisha, finding the Ogre for a second time. Kuku from death to death as he respawns again back to the graveyard, and here's the RP coming out from Minkei, but there's WS to follow up on it, the blast off from Boxy, but they're dropping low on the side of Liquid. They will lose Boxy, and now forcing Minkei away. I don't think he might survive this one. Saberlight might just be the one to tank the bullet for his teammates, trying to TP out. And Dawnbreaker just in time. But he does find a kill off of the Dawnbreaker with that Black Dragon assisting him there. So they will find something for the
They're still hunting. It's not over.
And it's definitely not over. The Black Dragon is finally killed by the sniper. Nisha is going to have to back out as they run out of firepower.
That Nisha's move revealed their ward, I think, right? Because earlier, I don't think Talon necessarily knew that Liquid plays that ward when they were chasing them, but now when he tried to go for the Naga Siren, it should really get taken down if Talon were paying attention. Though the Ogre just moved next to the ward and didn't do anything about it, so maybe they still don't know.
But a bit of a warning sign. Stay the calm before the storm, but Liquid really ramping up the tempo now with those last few plays. This started all the way from the top of tier 1 tower to the enemy Tormentor as Jokum and Kuku will explode. The supports found once again by Liquid, and they will continue to repeat this. Supports will die this game.
And mind you, this is nighttime, right? First they poke, then they push you out of a good position, and then they ward really deep. So now, the sniper's extra vision during nighttime, it doesn't really do anything, because if he wants to go anywhere where there's a high ground, there is a good chance that Liquid have already taken that area.
And it helps with the Wolves, right? You have so much information going in the way of Liquid.
For sure. That is their vision game, right? Something that helps the Tiny. Tiny really likes having extra vision on his side. He's one of the heroes who uses it the best and really does badly without it. So these Lycan Wolves are going to be a big deal. And look at how early he got the Shard on Lycan. I know it's very popular, but versus the Naga Siren, versus the Dawnbreaker, it is a necessity to get it this early.
You're going to need something against that push. You need a push of your own. Certainly, the Lycan does find his place in the game here. Liquid again Bit of a aggressive smoke move towards the top half of the map this time, where Talon probably suspects there are no wards because Liquid has been playing mostly in the mid and the triangle area. Can they find themselves a kill? There is the sniper deep in the jungle. Smoke pops. Nisha does find the ogre, tosses him back, and that's going to be Kuku back to the graveyard for the 4th time this game.
Yeah, the thing is, you're not, at this moment, you're not chasing for the big kills, right? You're chasing for the heroes to take away from the map so that you can extend this timer until it's daytime. That is when Talon are not going to have the added vision from the sniper, and it's going to be even easier to catch them. But as you mentioned, a massacre last from Team Liquid in the last 4 minutes. They did everything right and set up for this move towards the top lane as well. Now they set themselves up for a Roche as well. A bit risky versus a Naga Siren. We'll see if they can make it there.
If they can get away with this Roshan, that could save them the next daytime cycle with the 5-minute Aegis duration, forcing Talon into a pretty difficult to look for fights versus Liquid. And also have this Magnus that is, considering that right-click build, is a pretty good Aegis carrier in my eyes.
It's pretty solid. The interesting part, though, is... okay, that looks like a dead Insania. I don't think he's getting out of this one alive. But also interesting how some Tinies, man, they just go blink Kanda every single time. Nisha, he really likes his Echo Saber, right? He's a big fan of it. Maybe Howl has something to do with it.
Maybe. Scale into a bit of extra physical damage, right?
Yep.
We'll help him out. All right, Talon, what is your plan? We've got the Orchid Manta up on the Naga Siren. Where's that pinnacle item for a Naga carry? The heart, which is much needed.
Oh, I don't know if he's even... oh, he's actually going for a heart. Okay, I didn't expect that. A lot of the Nagas would just get a butterfly. Boxy is in no man's land. Is probably going to go down. But the thing is, this Naga build with an Orchid and with a Manta, it doesn't work unless you're controlling the waves. And Liquid did an awesome job at preventing Talon from controlling the waves. That's why we're seeing this Orchid not really coming into play all that much.
So they're looking for some extra protection, but the shapeshift with Insania jumping on WS. It's a close one, but it doesn't look like that shapeshift's going to be there in time for Saberlight to secure the kill. So yes, we'll be able to escape from this one.
And Stania going a bit earlier, but the Ancients were dying. The Dawnbreaker would have gotten out. Speaking of which, the Dawnbreaker has an Aghanim Scepter. But overall, Liquid have been playing in such a way that they don't care about the Solar Guardian. Even if you use it, they're just going to move away. So now they're going to be even more careful in how they approach these kills.
Oh, nice deny there from Saberlight. Takes away the Wisdom Rune away from Talon. Something you absolutely want to do with those wolves ring around the map. They will get their own, and of course secure the Tormentor. This is going to be some heavy work here. Boxy, he's having his doubts already. They're pinging. We need some extra help here, boys.
Yeah, well...
now Insania, another low HP support shows up. And it looks like it's going to be a close one. Howl used. Who is also dying on the other Tormentor on the other side of the map. Liquid, however, will not have any casualties on this one.
Yeah, Boxy gets the shard. It's actually not half bad to be able to put it on somebody who's running in, right? Because disarming the sniper, disarming the Naga Siren, it's actually a big deal, right? And all three of the cores of Liquid get really deep in there in these fights. It is actually quite a solid shard to have.
Now with that Aegis still up for another 2 minutes, do you think Liquid right now wants to calm it down and look again for another nighttime phase to just push their advantage onto Talon? Or do you think they want to use that Aegis for something, for an objective? Is it literally just controlling the map right now?
It's making sure that you are on the enemy side of the map. If that's the case, the Talon lineup doesn't work, right? Be it day or nighttime. Generally, during nighttime versus sniper lineups, you go for kills, you go for smokes. But Liquid don't feel like they have to move away from the map because they're controlling 2 waves versus a lineup that is basically built to control waves. So you're taking that away from them, thus you're slowly winning.
That does help them with the information about where's Talon moving. They had a Wolf at the Twin Gate, seeing the more to move in, and they have Negate in a very deep position. And that Aegis will run down. Does he have a way out of this one? Liquid only just now arriving to the area. Natsumi does have him right in front of him. Avalanche comes out from Nisha. There's the Dawn ulti with an Agonim's upgrade, and then we'll keep at least Natsumi alive and Kuku as they take down Mickey. And now there's a shapeshifted wolf that's going to be in big trouble. Hit early timing there in a Starbreaker, but they got the ensnare, and with the damage output, they are going to take him out. So Saberlight and Mickey both down on top of the Aegis. Talon, good defensive fight.
This is one of the scary things of keeping the status quo, right? You are winning the game by what you're doing right now. But if you're not changing anything, your opponents will properly adapt, and that was their adaptation. They protect the tower, they get 2 core kills, they get ahead just before the nighttime is coming, just before they want to be more aggressive. So it's actually a perfect time for Talon to overtake the game.
Yeah, a bit of a Bear Grylls right there. Improvise, adapt, survive. Not in that order.
Don't eat bugs, please. Thank you. Let's see.
But I think that was a much-needed breather as well for Talon, because now they don't have to worry about the Aegis. They can potentially move themselves away from their side of the map slowly but surely. Liquid still has good control. However, that last fight did show Talon has the damage to fight back.
Look at the waves now, right? They're shoved in towards Liquid. Talon, they have a heart on the Naga Siren. They're going to be shoving them even harder right now because it's going to be tougher to deal with those illusions. And now he's going to be going for a butterfly. But more importantly, because the lanes are shoved in, this Orchid from the Naga Siren might give them a couple of kills.
It might, and it's exactly used on the techies with the Cliff Ward. Also catching Insania. That doesn't get the dead shot to connect on him. But Boxy, just a very ambitious TP out. Sure thing. Your opponents ain't fully committing on you, they'll just disappear.
And there's the reactive taser for you. It really does help. You just cannot attack him, and that's the case. They used all of the stuns that they had. They didn't really have all that many, but either way, they used them and they gave an opportunity to Boxy to get out. Pretty easy for a player of that caliber to recognize it.
Yeah, maybe a bit hungry there as well to get the Lich kill too, recognizing 2 squishy supports split some of their roots on the Lich. That allowed both of the supports to disappear. Mickey yet to find a kill on this Magnus, but give him some time.
Yeah, he can't really play aggressively in this game without the BKB or a Blink, right? He's opting to go for a BKB. They probably think that later on down the line, if they just itemize for the later portions of the game, that they are going to be able to win it. Because Sniper and the Naga don't necessarily become super ultra late game heroes. They can be countered.
Natsumi pressing his advantage quite far here. Hoping to get on top of the Tiny, but not quite successful in doing so. Insania TP's out, and also a quick moment too. I mean, as we're waiting for the action for the next fight to kick off, a reminder about the tickets, !ticket into chat. Make sure you make your way here into Belgrade, Serbia. Still a plenty to pick up, but as today the Swiss stage started, those tickets are running out quickly, so make sure you get your own.
Hoping to see people in a huge number here. Tekis has an Aghanim Scepter. Okay, that is quite solid. The thing is, though, that the side of Talon, they can be okay by standing their ground. So the minefield, we'll see just how much it can do. If he's somehow in a good position and they start pushing them back and Talon feel like they have to run away, then it's gonna be perfect. But if the sniper can stand this ground, this Aghanim Scepter won't contribute all that much.
Looking at the buffing minus armor with the Howl, the attack damage reduction, and the increase of it as well at the 25 talent for this Lycan. So there's definitely a lot of scaling that will hurt the Sniper, hurt the Naga in terms of damage output. They've also got Riptide on the side of Talon. About that, Mickey have to force the Manta out into an instant silence right after. They've got Jokum right in the middle of the fray. Gets hit by the Chain Frost, slowed down. I think that Mortis pretty much done for. Mickey letting the RP into forcing WS. Solar Guardian to protect the Naga Siren. No longer a target that they can focus on. Saberlight Shapeshift is running low by the second. WS protecting the front. A lot of abilities traded back and forth, and now Natsumi do get the real an opportunity on this Magnus. Still, you can see that both teams are very cautious about how they engage, how they approach the fight. So all we really see is just a more to die and a ton of spells traded back and forth.
Yeah, if Liquid commits too much, the turnaround of Talon can be insane. And on the other hand, Talon, they lost a hero. So chasing forward and losing your positioning with the sniper can be detrimental. Imagine if the sniper shows himself very, very easily. They can bring him down. I mean, this is why he's playing this game with the ghillie suit. He's just attacking and nobody knows where he is. But in some situations, if he shows himself, if you start chasing, it's going to be much easier for Liquid to find that opening.
Just sitting and guessing. 15 seconds for the next Roche to spawn as well. Liquid currently have control of the top half of the map, so if they get info on it, Alan could still easily contest that Roshan. One good Naga song. Might just be that we wait all the way until daytime if we do not get an engagement in the next few minutes to start in the top half of the map for one team to have the advantage and safely take it.
It might be
it's actually Talon charging in there.
They should be. It's nighttime. It is on their side of the map. Second row, she usually save a couple of buybacks. Sniper has one, and he's probably the most important guy, because if Liquid see a sniper, they probably think that they can win a fight right there and then. But with buyback, they cover even that. So this is a very, very good move. Liquid, they have to use their spells perfectly.
Wards down on the gate. Mickey looking for a way to go in. Nisha with an instant blink toss will take down Jokum. Following on the next with the Orchid landed there as well. That is burst away by Mickey again. The use of that Manta down for 30 seconds. Still has his BKB. Natsumi down to half HP. Last time they forced the RP, that's WS's time to shine and respond. I think what they're trying to do is wear it down, force that ulti, and then try to look for a turn with an RP as WS is there. But Natsumi has a song of his own, but Mickey with his BKB able to get the RP off. However, who will get the most of the damage in this fight? Mickey has been able to push WS away from the fight. Kuku's fallen. WS doesn't have the help of his teammates. Boxy is sacrificed, but Natsumi found by the Lycan. Liquid able to crack the puzzle.
And now you just need to pull out slowly. It is now daytime. The Roche is moved. Nobody's in position. You can reset.
So response coming out for that Lycan deep dive. I don't think Saberlight's going to make his way out alive from this one. No shape left. That is to support buybacks from Jokum and Kuku. Talon, they know how vulnerable those supports are going to be in that next engagement. Not really putting them in a good position after that fight.
And not even did you win that fight, all of the lanes are shoved in. So Talon, right now, while some of your heroes are dead, even with those buybacks, they can't do anything, right? They cannot get towers, they cannot get good vision around the Roche pit. The only thing that they can do is hope, and even that has to be done cautiously because you can get caught, to shove out the waves to give themselves some kind of a chance to contest the next Roche.
Setting themselves up for that Radiant side Roshan for Liquid. Knowing that Talon's going to have a harder time contesting that Roche now. Might just be Liquid picking up the Aegis and the banner for themselves. Gonna have to be a pretty miraculous fight from Talon, considering how that previous one went. That Liquid, they held on to that RP for such a long time. They know what the answer from Talon is, so they tried to keep pushing their damage over time, force out their abilities first, and then they'd have the advantage, and everything fell apart. So good adaptation from Liquid. But what will Talon learn from this?
Well, the problem with Talon is that they have low damage, right? And in a team fight, they will lose. They need better lane control. Now it is in a good position. Use those lanes, wait for an opportunity rather than allowing one force by.
Hold that thought as Liquid gonna look for the opportunity. Wolfbite is heard in the background as well. That was the Ags ready on the Lycan. They're just charging straight in. Nisha with the tiny, one of the scariest Wolfbite targets. They finish off Kuku in a matter of seconds. And now Natsumi and WS, you indeed need to run away. The Wolves, they're knocking on your door. Boxy with a jump and stuns WS's Dawnbreaker. And they'll just buy some time. Gets a kill off of Boxy. Dawnbreaker's damage is serious to consider. But Natsumi is all alone and nobody there to help him out.
He just bought that butterfly and they killed him. And the thing is that the Magnus is getting closer to his MKB already, so that butterfly might not even do anything. And now we're seeing that these Naga lineups, man, if you do not control the map, if you do not control the game, at some point things are gonna become scary for her. But also Talon, they're panicking a bit every single time. They're comboing the Sleep and the Solar Guardian. It has to be one or the other to reset the fight and you save the other one.
I think you do have some truth to it, that the damage from Talon's side is lacking. It's only going to get harder from here. Naga Siren, not exactly the one that scales in super high damage later on in the game. You look at Magnus, you look at Tiny. They've got the base, and now they can keep upgrading from there. And that wolf bite on Tiny, that is a serious thing to consider. That just enables Nisha to become a real killing machine.
I mean, not only that, you are buffing him with an power as well. And it's a Tiny. He has such huge base damage that he will have 1 billion armor, 1 billion movement speed. He has 2 stuns of his own, and even Kanda will be finished up right now. A perfect mixture of both physical and magical damage burst coming off from the Tiny. And guess what? He even has a shield rune, so you're gonna have to go through 4.5k HP plus an Aegis. This is a beastly Tiny at the moment. And you know what? He is the least farmed core on the side of Liquid.
Pretty balanced. OS Frog in chat.
Exactly.
But that's what Liquid's been playing for here. They know how well this lineup can work in every stage of the game. Despite a rocky laning stage for this Tiny, unkilled, 307. Clean 10 KDA for Nisha so far.
He's going for shards. It used to be the Tinies would get that shard to farm. Well, nowadays it is kind of a later game item for him.
Another shapeshift forced out. This time Talon being the aggressors onto Saberlight's Lycan. Not really able to do too much to him though. Protective tasers. Now the wolf bite. Nisha on the hunt. Kuku was the target last time. This time they find Natsumi. Huge amounts of damage onto the Naga Siren.
And they're overlapping.
And the Song and the Solar Guardian both forced out. Talon in full retreat. They just cannot fight back. This is not a fight that they wanted to take either.
You find finally an opening that you force out the shapeshift, and it's okay, you haven't used any of your spells, but Liquid are so good at forcing out your spells. They see an opportunity. Yo guys, we can go, we can force out the Sleep and the Solar Guardian and make sure that not having the shapeshift isn't gonna be that big of a problem. It's just beautiful. They also get a tower on top of it.
It just feels like Talon can no longer team fight Liquid.
They haven't been able to for at least 15 minutes. That is
or at least 15 minutes, sure. But now you finally get the realization of it as Natsumi goes down. No buybacks on pretty much anyone on the server. But they're trying to turn things around. Hope to get the kill on the Tiny at least. But he's just going to respawn with that Aegis mid-game. He's dropping low, 500 HP. Gets the method. The blast off coming out from Boxy. That will force out Kuku on the retreat. At least Makoto's going to be able to take down the Magnus. And here comes the Solar Guardian right on top of the Lycan and on top of the Techies as well. There's going to be a kill going the way of Talon. They've taken down 3. Mikoto just pushing Nisha away. But here's the wolf bite from Saberlight. At least it would allow him to run away as Kuku falls to Boxy. And Nisha just slaps down Mikoto with a big crit to the face. And they will continue to take down WS. And Liquid will be the victors in the end of that team fight. Despite Talon having a short moment of hope, Wolfbite was back up again.
Their short moment of hope came out from Mikoto being in such a great position, right? He did, I have to check just how much damage he did in that fight, 7,000. So he pretty much crushed them. He was untouched, ghillie suit, they don't know where he is. And he was in a very obvious position as well, but there's nothing you can do about it. He almost wins them the fight, but as you mentioned, the shapeshift, the wolf bite come off cooldown, and that is where the sniper just cannot fight any longer.
You could basically use wolf bite on Nisha's first life with the Aegis very early on into the fight. Say you want to engage with it. Aegis expires or he gets killed. The fight takes long enough. You'll have another wolf bite for him for his second life. And that's just crazy for this Tiny. Already hits like an absolute unit.
Well, they're continuing to push, and they push really fast. Usually you want to force out the glyph, and Liquid did that. It's time to bail.
At least they're able to force out the shapeshift coming out from Saberlight. Nisha and Sania in position. Saberlight thinks that maybe I should just charge in and do some damage here. The Song on in there as well. They wear out the Frost Shield. Do they have another from Insania to protect him? Coming in from the sides. They got the gaze on Kuku. He won't be able to get the follow-up stun. Liquid just able to turn back around. Nisha straight on top of Mikoto, forcing his BKB. The Cypher has to grenade himself to the high ground. Now you've got both Wolves dropping very low on HP. Nisha down. The jump, Mickey will be able to find him. The RP comes out as well. Kuku, the target of it, and Jokum with the one to fall too. Supports are out of the way. Just down to Talon's cord. Mickey taking the fight to Natsumi as Mikoto battling versus Insania's Lich. And Lich will fall. Mickey left alone, and the kite simply is too Talon. Find some respite in a moment. It felt like it might just all be over.
Get sniped, man. Mikoto is playing out of his freaking mind. The way that he's positioning, getting there on the high ground, there when he got skewered towards his team, the RP didn't come out immediately from Mickey, right? He didn't RP Mikoto and then skewer him to the team. He skewered him in. He had time to Hurricane Pike away, and that was such a good Delta split when the Magnus coming. Look at now the minimap. Magnus is far away, but his team has cooked things up, so maybe he can find a great opening. Mikoto to the high ground, and at this point, the Magnus will come. But also, at this point, when they dispersed and you already lost all your cores, look at that. Only one hero in an RP when just a second ago, there were maybe even all four of the heroes that were close by.
In a moment you think that everybody's going to get caught by that RP. Suddenly nobody's caught inside it. Nice Delta split there from Talon. And in the end, they just end up kiting this Magnus. He's got pretty much nothing left. Naga's really fast in her movement. Already highlighted at the very early stages of the laning stage that this Naga is going to be tricky to chase. Not to even talk about all of that evasion that the Naga has. Having webs, having a sniper with long-range damage. Talon finds a way in the end.
But you know why? Because Liquid didn't play textbook Dota there. So what you do, you get one laner Axe, you come to the second one, you force out a glyph, you go back. It is a classic move. And they just got greedy, right? And because of that, Talon are completely back into the game. Is the sniper still committing onto his Satanic? No, he bought a Daedalus. Thank you. Yes, that is the way. You are lacking damage. If they find you, even with a Satanic, there is a good chance that you die. With a Daedalus, you can kill them fast enough so that they never find you.
Jokum right next to Mickey. The daytime will reveal him. And information as also the break of dawn from Talon, showing that Liquid is ready for another fight. When they're stacked up, that's probably not a moment for Talon to jump in. But you are right. That was a moment where Liquid could have opted to just back away. Maybe we would lose the Lycan here, but that's just one hero dead.
Not only that, but also it's a classic move, right? Everybody always does it. And, you know, this is one of the, if somebody is asking themselves, why don't they stay more often? Why are teams afraid? That is the reason. Liquid could have been in such a dominant position. They no longer are. They are still ahead, and playing this Talon lineup when you're behind, when you lost the lane or Axe, is tough, but they're still in the game. And, you know, one more mistake like that from Liquid, it can easily turn things around completely.
Yeah, especially the SEA fans there, the Talon fans, feeling hopeful that this game is not out of our grasp.
You mean those 15% in the chat?
Those 15%ers in the chat, indeed. In probability, pretty close to even, with that slight advantage for Liquid, as you mentioned. But I wouldn't really call it a huge advantage anymore. What still needs to happen here? Of course, for Liquid, there's still a ton of big items. We talk about Refresher on Magnus, for example, can give them teamfight edges here. But what about Talon? Is there another game-turning item that they could potentially pick up here? You mentioned the Ogre scaling into a potential core later on, and maybe like a multicast Scythe or something like that could work.
I don't think that Talon's lineup is a one-item type of lineup that if you would give them like to choose an item right now, that item wouldn't change much. The plan with Naga lineups remains the same. You need to shove out the waves, and you need to have a numbers advantage in a fight, or at least a solid positioning advantage. In a couple of times on their defensive, they were able to do it, but you also have to do it on the aggressive. In some Roche fights as well. That is what they're gonna have to be gunning for. They sure are getting these BKBs. Now Naga has one, but I don't think in an open fight that you're getting the victory. You have to outsmart Liquid.
Maybe the smoke could be one of them. Crossing over the river, Arcane Rune, Nisha right there. To the instance, but before he's able to blink out on this, Tiny will be torn down to pieces. But will he die? Down to 800 HP. Nisha able to get out. WS has gone really deep in at the same time, but so has Saberlight. There is the Solar Guardian into the air with the Naga Song. Both big ultis used. Talon will back away.
Magnus is now a wolf. He is chasing.
There's Mickey. Again, looking for WS here to finish off this Dawnbreaker. Not a lot needed. One more right click, pretty much, but that's such a tanky Dawnbreaker. And Mickey has to move away, but Mikoto is another potential target. Also, the minefield placed down by the techies. Talon has to move away from that one. Mickey skewers away to safety. They got the jump on Jokum. That is the Muerta falling first. Does have a buyback, though. Just nothing to TP.
RP still ready.
So Talon looks like they're moving towards either the outpost or the home. And Mikoto! Oh, he doesn't get the RP. He doesn't catch him in the end.
He hesitated for a second there. He went for the shockwave first, and the sniper gets out. I thought he had him. He also saw the concussive grenade where it was used. That is how he knew exactly where to look for the sniper, and he just didn't use the RP in time.
Sniper can feel his soul leaving his body that moment the TP's about to finish. And must be a huge sigh of relief for him that he doesn't have to. I mean, he wouldn't have even had a buyback if he died there.
Yeah, the soul gets pulled back in, Pandas. It's in there. Right?
You're given a second opportunity in life. Use it wisely, Mikoto.
Yeah. go towards the light, but the right one, not the wrong one, and he did. But RP was used, so Talon, they could go for a play right now when there's no big spell on the side of Liquid. Also, I like the change up. Use the bite onto the Magnus when the Tiny is low. He couldn't go in, so they went with Mickey, and he did a decent amount of damage in that fight.
He sure did. Forced at least WS to run far away, but the jukes around the trees were a bit too much for the Magnus. Finish him off. Now invasion coming in. Mickey finds Kuku. That's a good catch. Finishing off a pretty squish Ogre. And Nisha's also got the jump in the backline. Natsumi is gone. Double kill for the Tiny. And Mikoto, with all those abilities Sniper's been given over the years, he'll be able to get out with a simple BKB teleport out. WS Solar Guardian interrupted. And Liquid will find 4 kills, and here's the time to maybe force out some buybacks. Roshan is also home in his own pit.
You push so fast that you are forcing buybacks here 100%. You know that if they don't have them, you're killing the throne in like a second. But the thing is that the Naga spin doesn't ever buy
it. It looks like they make the call. Go straight for the tier 4 towers. Look to end the game. The pushing power is serious here. The Glyph forced out early. 1 buyback. That is WS on the Dawn.
And look at that damage.
And the Roche banner, which they've been saving from that second Roche kill, put to use. Don't really have anyone else except for the sniper to potentially hit it down. Mickey does find WS, and that's a dieback on the Dawnbreaker. Gone from this fight, down for 2 minutes. And Liquid can push another lane down. At the lanes to push in, potentially look for another push on the tier 4 towers, knowing that that Glyph is gone.
All 3 of their cores have level 25s. The Magnus went for the extra RP, the Tiny double toss, and for Lycan, the Howl impacts your entire damage. Now Talon, they really don't have damage.
The Howl. Here come the bites. The Wolves are in. Nisha takes down Jokum. Warrants gone. Naga respawns now. Mega creeps tier 4 down. Ancient exposed. Liquid. Just a little bit more needed here. What is the answer from Talon? Saberlight down to half HP. Roots upon Roots. Roots, bloody Roots, as Nisha goes in again. Blast up from Boxy. Ancient down to half. Will they push her back all the way down? There's the song coming in. Boxy's buyback all the way on the other side of the map. This techies will not be able to make it in time.
He's still available.
Saberlight. With that Tiny getting destroyed completely by the Bloodthorn. Mickey doesn't get Mikoto. Grenade to get away from the skewer, and they will finish up Kuku. El Saberlight also down, and now onto Natsumi. This Naga Siren needs
Liquid
to stand
smells
his ground,
blood.
but that Mickey Magnus is taking a chunk of damage and will go down to Mikoto. Mickey with the buyback, and Liquid coming back in with numbers. They have everybody alive, and Talon won't get their full team alive until 40 seconds at least, but Liquid's already here.
Are we gonna see a losing rampage?
Nah, they got it. I don't think so. As that's gonna be the sniper gone. Mikoto will not even have the time to press the buyback button as Liquid finishes off the Ancient.
Nope. What an ending. Liquid. Again, they could have taken it easy there, went for Roche, but they decided, okay guys, they don't have